it's not always gonna be sort of like an upward trajectory. You know what I mean? Like shit is a roller coaster. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're gonna go up, sometimes you're gonna go down. But the thing is, like, you might not feel it, you might not know it, but it's still going.
Ace, welcome. Bedrock Radio, you know what I'm saying? You
Sir.
low key a veteran because you've been around for a little bit. You was at the first digging for gems.
Yeah.
You
Performed there.
You performed at the first digging for gems.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You pretty much came to everyone since then.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I'm glad we were able to get you on our platform and
man, I appreciate you
out
for having me, man.
for sure.
Honor.
So tell the people where you're from.
All right, yeah. So I was born in Nigeria. And then when I was 4, I moved to New Jersey, and then lived in New Jersey up until 2021, and I moved here.
Okay, cool. What was it like growing up in New Jersey?
New Jersey was really dope, honestly. I kind of lived. Well, I lived in about 3 different places when I was in there, but I went to school in like a couple of different zones, so I pretty much got like a wide scope of New Jersey and everything. So New Jersey was really dope. It was a very big clash of like different cultures and everything, like really a melting pot and everything. So it was great. The food was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, weather was but it was still straight though. I loved it a lot.
That's dope. Dope. So did Joe Budden, was he like a prominent?
Fuck man. Fuck no, I don't hate Joe, but actually nah, I hate you. Nah, man, Joe Budden was definitely not. No, nah.
They wasn't singing his name in the streets. You ain't hear pump.
Definitely was not, bro.
Okay, all right. So what was the moment when you fell in love with music?
Damn. I fell in love with poetry first, actually, and then music kind of like poetry was kind of like the what do you call it, like the gateway to music and everything. I remember when I was in I think that was 6th or 5th grade. My brother had this iPod, and he only had about like 5 or 6 albums on there and everything. And I low-key had stole it from him. I don't know if I told him that I stole it, but I stole it from him. And every day I would come back from school because I would take a bus back home. I would just be listening to those songs on repeat and everything. And I think that was when I like really like fell in love like with music and everything. But I always been writing and shit. When I was like real young, I used to like do like covers in church and shit for like different rap songs and everything. So yeah, I say that like 6th grade year was when I like really like truly fell in love with the shit though.
So like, how did you said poetry was like a gateway into rapping? So how did you transfer the skills that you had in poetry into rap?
Yeah, I feel like the way that I write poetry and everything, because like the rap that I was listening to it was mainly a lot of Kanye, like early on and shit. You know, Kanye is pretty much like a poet himself and everything. And so the way I would write my poetry, it was like very poignant, and I don't know if I said that word right.
Yeah, you did.
But in my poetry, I was very truthful about whatever it is I was feeling, what I was seeing, and I feel like with my rapping, I kind of just transferred that energy pretty much over, honestly. Just trying to keep that truthful essence, you know what I mean, that came first with the poetry and everything.
That's dope. That's dope. It's good that was something that you transferred over, because a lot of times people be rap capping. You know what I'm saying?
Lying,
a whole bunch of lying. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, everybody lies.
Hey, okay. So why did your newest releases, the 2 singles that you dropped, why did you name it Monday Music?
So I named it Monday Music because it's actually for it's actually playing a purpose in like a greater thing of this rollout. I don't want to give it up yet, but
it could be the Bedrock Radio exclusive. Like, I mean,
hey man, all I say is there's gonna be more days of the week with more music to come for sure. So
Earth Gang.
yeah, that's all I can say.
Yeah,
For sure.
Did you know the Earth Gang? Do you listen to Earth Gang?
Not too much actually.
Okay, because they had a project. It wasn't. It was called Turbo, right? You know, they had each song was the name of the week. Yeah, Turbo. So that's why I thought.
Okay.
Check it out. It's actually really good.
I think I might tap in.
That was my first project that I listened to by Earth Gang. And I think it was Earth Gang and Saba or Earth Gang and someone else that was on the feature. It was really good. Really good.
What did you call it?
Turbo. It's like TURBA or TERBA.
Okay.
It's a green. It's a black cover with a green like T. It sort of looks like a FaZe Clan type logo.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check that
out. Okay. So, what inspired the making of Blessed?
Man, like I said, like with my poetry and shit, like I really just I base a lot of what I write on like how I'm feeling and lessons that I learned and shit. And I feel like at that time when I had wrote that song, I was there was a lot of tough shit that I had to deal with when I had came out here and everything. But you know, I just kept it going and everything, and so I feel like all the experiences that I had, it was really some shit that like I don't know. I feel like if I wasn't as like motivated and as like focused on what it is I'm trying to do, like that shit high key would just knock me off. And so I think that mindset of the like fuck it, we blessed is like really like a mindset I like carry and shit. And so I just wanted to express that sonically and shit. And you know, I made the beat and it felt very right like making that shit. So yeah, just like my experience and just trying to translate that experience to sonics and shit. So
yeah, so that actually like was kind of my next question is what is the message you want to spread through your music? But while I was writing the question, I was like, it felt somewhat obvious. Like you're very clear about like what you wanted to get across in the song. You know?
But I mean, yeah, it's pretty much in the song. You know what I'm saying? Life is crazy sometimes, and it's gonna keep being crazy. Just keeping that, you know, fuck it, we blessed. And I like that it's like, you know, fuck it, like we blessed and shit. Cause it's like everybody could like, you know what I'm saying, take something from that, like fuck it, we blessed. Are
there any like strategies or techniques that you use so that when you do get in moments where you're like overwhelmed and life is kind of like coming at you from all sides, Pauls, you like get back into that mindset of like fuck we blessed? Like do you like meditate? Do you take walks, whatever? Like,
very much so, bro. I love being in nature and shit. I love nature. I love journaling. I like meditating a lot. I meditate pretty much every day, honestly. So yeah, I try to keep a very good connection with myself and everything because I feel like that's one thing that's helped me stay centered and everything. So and it's also helped me like gratitude journaling and shit like that. So yeah, it's a lot of things I do for sure.
Yeah, now for me, I take walks. Like when I feel like I'm just overwhelmed or I'm stressed out, or I always try to take a walk at one point in the day. You know, I used to take laps around my neighborhood to like just before I worked out, so I could get my cardio in. But I switched it out for jump roping so that I could actually enjoy walking. Because after I run around the neighborhood like 3-4 times, I'm like, I don't feel like walking around anymore. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. So, but like walks really helped me, and I actually started doing walks in the pandemic. Because when there was so much stuff going on, my grandma, she was like, you know, just take a walk. Don't even listen to music. Kind of just like experience nature and
it's
yourself.
Important, yeah,
bro. Like
important.
Mindfulness.
Facts.
Mindfulness.
Big facts. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a very important term.
For sure. So, what excites you about music?
I think
today, what excites you about it?
I think just being able to express my ideas more purely, like to be able to really like drive like emotion, like so when niggas listen to my shit, like they they get what it is I'm trying to say. They get what I'm trying to like, whatever emotion it is I'm trying to. They might not fuck with it. Like that's fine, but I just want you to like get it and like really feel it. You know what I mean? Because it's like if you love it, then you love it. If you hate it, you hate it. But I don't want niggas to just listen to my shit and be like, okay, that was alright. You know what I mean? I want you to like
to feel something.
Feel something, bro. Even if it's not something you're fucking with, like you still feel it. You know what I mean? So that's the resonate. Thing. Yeah.
So we were just having our conversation earlier. So what are 3 things you learned about the music game this year? Like throughout this whole year, experiencing like what 3 things that you learned?
I learned that it's very important. It's of utmost importance to just not really look at what others are doing. When you start to gain sort of a momentum, it doesn't even have to be like a momentum in terms of like numbers or anything, but just like a momentum within yourself and your creativity. It's very important to just try to reside within that momentum and everything, and sort of rid yourself of any sort of like comparisons and shit, because I feel like I can fuck up your momentum. Another thing, shit. I feel like I've learned that this year, like, it's not always gonna be sort of like an upward trajectory. You know what I mean? Like shit is a roller coaster. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're gonna go up, sometimes you're gonna go down. But the thing is, like, you might not feel it, you might not know it, but it's still going. You know what I mean? So that's definitely one of the most important things. And then also, I think the importance of community within music and everything. I only really like making music with people that I'm like cool with and shit. Unless I like really, really fuck with your shit, but that's very rare. Yeah, I feel like community is a very important part of music, because when 2 people or however many people are making a song and shit, you could tell when it's like this is just these are just 2 niggas on a song, and then you could tell when it's like these are 2 guys that like, or 2 people, 2 artists and shit that chemistry. Like, you know what I mean? They have chemistry, they vibe and shit, and you can hear it. You know what I mean? So that's definitely one thing. Like I learned like the importance of chemistry when you're making shit with other people.
Definitely super important. Super important. So my last question for you is, how do you use? Well, actually, 2 questions.
Yeah.
Spotify or app?
Yeah. I gotta go Spotify, bro. I had Spotify for a minute, bro. But Apple Music, I will admit, Apple Music has better sound quality, bro. But really, if you have an iPhone, though, if you have an iPhone, but just fuck Spotify, just look fresh. Yeah, I don't know.
It do.
Yeah. What about you,
though? I'm definitely Spotify. Okay. Like Apple Music, because I didn't have an iPhone at first. Okay. I was Spotify, and then people were like, "Oh, why get Spotify if Apple Music is on your phone?" And I'm like, you have to pay for it still.
You still have to pay for it. And
what are you saying? More exactly, it's $1 more. Like, bro, like, come on. What are we talking about? So yeah, definitely Spotify. So now the actual last question is, how do you use playlists in your day-to-day life?
Damn, that's a good question, bro. I pretty much make a playlist for everything, honestly. I wake up in the morning fucking with jazz a lot, so I got like a jazz playlist and shit. Playlists sort of like curate like whatever it is. I feel like it kind of like amplifies, you know what I mean, certain things, like whatever it is I'm doing and shit. So they really just be like I say they're like an amplifier for life and shit, like certain moments and everything. And it could also be like some motivational shit, you know what I mean? Like if you at the job and shit, you know what I mean, working and everything, you hear Wayne in your AirPods rapping, shit gonna be like, like, this job ass, but like fuck it, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, playlists are really like, they're like seasoners of life and shit. So I fuck it. Yeah, sure.
Well, brother, that is all my questions. I appreciate you coming through.
Man, appreciate y'all for having me. Man. I'm not gonna lie, this platform that y'all have, it's so weird and shit. Like I just love everything about it, and like I'm just so excited to see shit continue to grow. I'm happy I got to be a part of it, for real, bro. Thank y'all.
I appreciate it. Glad we could have you. Before, you know what I'm saying? Before you blew up, you know what I'm saying? We still got you. Go ahead,
even after the blow up, man.
Exactly. We gonna spin again.
Definitely.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, bro. Appreciate you, man. Yeah.